Hey, it's Francis. Now in today's video, I'm going to give you a simple trading flowchart. This allows you to obviously implement the way that you're trading your trading strategy, keep you on track. Because we all struggle with sticking to our rules. We all struggle with that, obviously, sustainability. And if you're a new trader or you are a struggling trader and you can't seem to get over that line, whether that's being funded, whether that's obviously getting over that sustainability so you can pay your bills every month and eventually you can go full time, or even if you're full time now but you've been struggling, then this is the video for you. I'm going to break down the way that I trade, but you can take these out and obviously implement and put your own trading strategy within these sections, within this diagram or the flow chart, whatever you want to call it. Now, I must shout out Deanna over on Top Step TV, and Market Stalkers is her personal YouTube. This template I've seen on her channel, and I've taken it and put my obviously way that I trade into each section, so you can do exactly the same. So I just want to break down. I've got a lot of other philosophy videos in here. So what you can do is make profit. Simple as that. And this is how we're going to break it down. So I'm going to zoom in on each section just so you know, okay? Simple as that. So first things first is this is going to be our trading plan flow charts. You can call it a trading journal flow chart. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, this is what you're going to be looking at and go over this consistently to implement your rules. I am currently going on a 7-day break from trading. I've not really been trading. I've not had a break for about 3.5 years, but I feel some time away to work on our program, to work on our YouTube, and to really do some more reading because I've got to finish some more books. That's what I'm doing for 7 days. And this is what I've done recently, again, just to implement that within my subconscious mindset for me to obviously get back into winning ways. And that's exactly what you will probably be doing once you look at this video. So again, this is my trading flow chart. So the first thing is we're going to check in the mornings what's going on with the news. Now, if you're not doing that anyway, then you should be doing that, because if you don't have your stops in, or you do have stops and you get a wick and your order does not get triggered because of the system that you're on or the platform, because it's a millisecond, then you're going to get smashed out and you're going to probably lose all your profits, okay? So trading the news is crazy. I wouldn't trade the news, so I need to check whether there is news, okay? So the first thing is going to be, I'm going to check my economical calendar. Now, you can go and check that. There's plenty of calendars, TradingView, Financial Juice, the economic calendar, whatever it may be, market updates, market vision, market watch, okay? Plenty of that. Now, if I do have high impact news, okay? If I do have high impact news, for me, no news equals trade during the New York, okay? So if there is no news, I will look to trade maybe during the New York session. Now, I don't really trade the New York session that often, and the reason being that if there's no news, the market can be very, very slow, okay? Very, very slow, especially in the London. So it might be worth me not getting involved in the consolidation chop and then going to the New York. I don't trade New York that often, but sometimes it's better, especially no news Mondays and things like that. If there is high impact news, I tend to stay away from the market until that's completely done, and then we will see from there. And we do get moves in the mornings, but it can vary. But remember, if there is high impact news, the chances are the market is going to probably consolidate and the moves are going to happen later on near New York, okay? Around the news and when New York settles, okay? Then what we're going to do, we're just going to check the trading conditions. What are the trading conditions? What was yesterday, the day before? How did we react? Was the Asia session consolidating? Was the Asia session moving to the upside or the downside? Okay. Was it accumulation? Whatever it may be, look at the market conditions. Did we have a big news day yesterday, or we expanded the range, which means we're probably going to do nothing on the next day after that? Okay. Something for you to learn as you're going. And then finally, just before we get into that, do I have a bias for the day? Okay. So that for me is looking at the higher term timeframes, but also, do I have levels of liquidity that are very, very clear to me? Are we at an SR level? Is there liquidity on the book map, etc.? Things like that. Do we have clear higher term time frame liquidity levels? That's where it's going to determine my bias. Now, if I do have a bias, okay, for me, yes, I'm going to go over and I'm going to look and can I identify my high probability levels? And these are the levels that I've marked out. So they're my high probability levels, they're my SR levels, they're maybe where a Fibonacci is lining up with that. They may be a point of control, a value area high or a value area low. But for me, it's just simple SR levels with a Fibonacci level, maybe at the previous daily high or the previous daily low, or the Asia high or the Asia low, which is normally internal, okay? But we may have liquidity there. So can I identify high probability levels that I'm looking for to trade, okay? After that, what's the foundation of my move going to be, okay? What's the pillars of my move, what I'm looking for? So for me, I look for the higher term time frame levels, which I've got from above, as you can see just here, okay? Once we reach my levels, do I have a 5-minute free candle reversal pattern? And do I have a break and retest on the 100 tick chart structure, okay? Do I have that? Then I'm going to be looking for, is it going to be a reversal or is it going to be a breakout and a retest setup? Now, I prefer reversals, and a breakout and a retest is something that I'm implementing more in my trading, but I prefer to go against the trend, contrarian, as you may say. So for me, I'm always looking for reversals, and the 3-minute candle reversal is what really, really helps me. And those points of interest are going to be SR levels, Fibonacci's, and maybe point of controls, okay? That's within there. There's the foundation of my levels. Now, if when I get to the foundation of my levels, I don't have any of this, and it's a no, it's a simple no trade for me. It's as simple as that, no trade. I stay out of the market. If it is a yes, and I have all my criteria from extreme levels, I have my criteria to get in, and it's a yes, then I'm looking for, again, confirmations of my 5-minute term time frame. I'm looking for a free candle formation and a 100 tick chart, okay? I'm looking for a break and a retest with a local wick zone, okay? I'm not going to go into detail with that, but that's normally where prices either fail to get below or fail to get above, okay? If I then get that, that's my confirmation. I identify a clear structure on the lower term time frame, which is the 5-minute and the 100 tick chart. That's what I do. If I can identify that, again, no trade, yes, execute. I'm in the trade. This is very methodical. It keeps the emotions out of trading, because it's emotions that are really, really going to do you over. They've done me over many, many times, still do to this day, especially if I'm working on other things, or some of the students, or I'm trying to be in the Discord and I'm trying to trade. It can be a little bit overcomplicated, okay? So I tend to make sure I stick to this. Very, very good way of going about your business. Now, if to the other side, we have no bias and we don't really have what's going on, it means the day could be a range bound day. And that's why we've got in here, maybe it's a range bound day, maybe there's no volume, maybe the books are thin on the book map, there's no liquidity, there's no big orders. So we have to look at that. If that is the case, I still need to identify my high probability levels that I'm looking for to trade. Whereas this time, I may consider possible trades that may front run my levels. Okay, so if there's not big liquidity and we get just before the Asia low or the Asia high, or the previous daily low or the previous daily high, or maybe a 4-hour SR or a daily level, okay, even a previous weekly low, we could front run our levels. Now, this is kind of something that I've been looking at a lot more in futures, because we traded crypto for so long, we very rarely would ever front run levels. A lot of the time we would go for liquidity grabs in crypto, especially Bitcoin, because of predominantly Bitcoin. Then we would reverse, whereas the NQ doesn't naturally always do what Bitcoin used to do. They're different markets, okay? So I'm considering, is it possible that we could front run our levels because of the lack of volume, or we're maybe range bound? It's not our normal kind of trading conditions. And we like range bounds, but we like extended range bounds, okay? After that is, again, do I now have a soft bias? Okay, so whereas before I had a very clear bias on my way to taking a trade, now it could be a soft bias. Can I see potential levels that could provide me that liquidity now? Okay, so now I'm hunting a little bit more, okay? I'm hunting to see if I can find something, because the markets are not always going to be perfect to line with you. If it was that easy, then trading would be easy and the high probability of failure would not be so high, okay? Now I'm looking, I've got to kind of do a little bit more homework. Do I have levels that still liquidity? Is the book map giving me some levels that, and the DOM on Top Step X, is it giving me some levels that possibly just before a SR level or just before a Fibonacci level, is there liquidity sitting there? Is there a nice set of orders? If no, again, no trade, something that I'm not interested in. But if yes, we've then got to check, are we reaching our major levels? So are we at a daily? Are we at an SR flip? Are we at a 4 hour maybe support and resistance? Are we at a macro fib level or a higher term time frame golden pocket, which is a 618 and a 75? Again, if no, no trade, I'm not interested. If yes, then I go back to my original criteria of how I get into a trade. My 5-minute 3-candle formation, my 100-tick chart structure. Is there a liquidity grab? And do we have the retest on that structure or the 5-minute candle? If no, no trade. If yes, I execute the trade. Okay, that's my breakdown of how I trade, what I look for, what I teach the students, and what I talk about every day in the Discord. Okay, now for you, take this and just implement, screenshot it now, and just add what you would look for. So then you can have this printed off on your wall, on your desk, or on your screensaver, whatever it may be, and just remind yourself that this is what you need to look for. I have this on another screen. I put this on another screen. I've got another monitor. I put it under the Discord, and sometimes I'll put it on my other monitor here, well, the laptop screen here, and I might put it next to Bookmap and just say, okay, remember, this is the way that we're going to trade, and you're forever improving. And I forever am improving. There's certain figures I want to get to. There's going to be testing, okay? So take this away with you. And a big shout out for Deanna for showing me this template. Take this, add the way that you trade, and then I wish success to you all. As always, God bless. Do the YouTube jazz, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And if you need any help in obviously your trading, book a trading growth call. It is free with me to see if you are a good fit for us and we are a good fit for you to take your trading to a full-time level.